channel, you beautiful lot. If you haven't been here before, welcome with my open arms. Thank you for coming and having a little look. Yeah, you'll have seen the thumbnail by now. Yeah, we're gonna take an in-depth look into old Lancelot. Yeah, you're gonna see behind the scenes of me van, so to speak. Oh dear, it's a bit like one of them. It's a bit awkward because you're kind of showing your home, and yeah, you wouldn't sort of walk a camera around your house, would you? Well, maybe you would. Don't know. Anyway, it might inspire a couple of people, or don't know, might get some ideas or whatever. You might look at it and go, do you know what? Stuff that van life in Lark. It's a Anyway, I'm stood here waffling, but I've got so much to get through. I'm going to have to spin the van because she's sort of that way and the sun's right in front of me here. So I'm going to spin the van round and we'll get stuck into it. You beautiful lot. Let's have it. Now, I haven't washed the van, so, you know, please excuse all the bugs and everything on the front, but this is the van for what it is. It's not here to, you know, look how posh my van is and all of that malarkey. It's literally just a functioning vehicle, and I'll just show you what it's all about. Hopefully you might find it interesting. If you do, great. You might think about possibly subscribing, maybe. That'd be great. So I'm going to start on the outside, have a quick walk around the outside, and then we'll get down to the nitty gritty. There she is, the old girl. She's a Mark 7 2012 transit van, 2.2 litre. Yeah, it's my old work van, so it did used to be all the work van equipment inside. It was all racked out. But chopped a couple of windows in, put a few graphics on, and it starts to take a different look, doesn't it? Amazing what a couple of stickers does, isn't it? Running on these Worm all-terrain tyres. They're just the old standard 16-inch wheels with, yeah, couldn't afford the expensive ones, you know, the all-terrain big fancy alloy wheels, so unfortunately we got the 16-inch steels and I painted them with some hammerite. But they do the job, they get me around. Yeah, plenty of bugs on board. There you go, that's it. Moving into the cab, not much, yeah, only water, only bits and pieces. Not much to report here, a couple of bananas. That always, the kids love that as they're going past, and that scares the bejeebies out of people. Yeah, got its seatbelt on. Not much to report in here, it's just the standard, standard inside of a transit van really. A couple of bananas. Swap the head unit out. Okay, let's move into the, get rid of me towels. That's me shower, I'll come to that in a little bit. That up there, that's the controller there for my lights out here. I'm doing a little fancy thing. And I wanted a little green light on it there, so as when I'm in bed, if I've left that light on, I can see it's working. You can probably see there that my awning rail is just the standard sort of C-section. That means it'll take a figure of 8 or the normal sliding awning. Going across, we've got the usual sort of television, nothing much to report there. That's the rail there that my table sort of slots into. I can show you that. Doors with, you see the elastic band, these things here, they vibrate when you're driving along, and next thing before you know it, the doors open and your frosties are all over the floor. So that's that. Up here is the Frey, that's my backup power station there. Great, I did a little review on that not so long ago. Smallest air fryer in the world. And then, you know, when you're in your house and you go, oh, I'll just put it on the side, put it on the sideboard, put it on the... Well, that's the equivalent for me, is all my bits of rubbish kind of end up here. Yeah, nothing to be sort of proud of. That's my little router for my interweb. I'll probably talk about that another day. And then obviously just behind there, you've got the usual bulkhead, you know, which is above the cab of the van. Nothing much to see in there. I have my table, chairs, the awning that goes out, you know, that sort of thing. This is just your typical normal sort of switch panel, isn't it? You know, you can see I've got one for lights, USBs, water pump. That one off there, that's my diesel heater. That one there, my cigarette lighter port, which runs my fridge. These two little blighters are my dimmer switches for my lights. Yeah, these spotlights, I bought them as a pack of 6 spotlights, split 4 into the ceiling, and I put 2 under the bulkhead under there, just to light me when I'm doing my cordon bleu chefing. Don't see what I'm doing when I'm burning stuff, in other words. That little blighter there, obviously that's my little diesel heater with the remote control next to it, and that is my master switch there to switch all the electrics off, so I can isolate the whole lot. Running on the EcoFlow Delta 2, these little leads on the top here, they're my solar panel leads. Just saves me having to pull the thing out. They're just always connected up, easy enough to stick my solar in. I haven't got any full-time solar on this van, so that's there. The other way to charge it is via, yeah, back in my drawers again. That little blighter there, that's the EcoFlow alternator charger. It's red at the moment because the machine's on, but the engine isn't running. Yeah, they are a good bit of kit, that EcoFlow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, by the way. You know what I mean? It's just what I've got. But they are good. That alternator charger, I did do another video of that. If you go back a few, don't know how to put them things up in the top corner to link on. Anyway, yeah, like when you consider your cigarette lighter port puts out 100-watt charging, and when you connect this up to your battery, it puts 800-watt charging. You know, that's quite a sizable difference. Hence, I've used electric for, like I say, about the last month or so. I even had my gas on. Oh, Monkey is. I only cook everything in my Ridge Monkey, as a lot of my viewers know. Yeah, it's at the back of the drawer. Hasn't been out for ages because, yeah, electric kettle, electric air fryer, electric hair dryer. Oh, yeah. Right, moving on. Next bit. This is a magnetic strip I've put on the wall there. I wasn't too sure if that was going to hold those knives okay, so I did have, for the first few hundred miles, I had towels and everything on here because I didn't want them dropping off. But you know what? Great little tip, that magnetic strip holds those knives perfectly. Blinds are always a tricky blighter. If you want to know how those are fitted, these are straight from IKEA. I think they're about 45, 48 quid each or something. Got one on there and one on the side door. If you want to see how those are fitted, there's a little video I did earlier. Looks like curtains or something I called it. I can't remember. Usual sink, the old Dometic single sink, little burner. So the bed, it's full width, so it's about, I don't know, what's that, 4'6" wide. Length is from that side to this side, I get just about 6 foot, because when I did these panels here, I cut those and kept them tight back into the recesses of the van. So that just gave me the maximum I could. Just meant that I had to lift the bed up just that little bit higher, so there's the mattress and everything kind of goes into that recess. Over here we've got, on both sides, they're both the same, I've got a little like reading lamp there, and they've both got these USB sockets, his and hers sockets there, and a little thing there to put your phone in. They're good, these cargo nets, ideal, great little bit of kit they are. Top cupboards. I always keep a picture of this good looking bloke in there, like that. There he is. What a ledge. Yeah, just the usual, you know, washing bits and pieces, bits of medication, tablets, whatever. Nothing much in there. Handles are eBay, as are, you know, the struts and all that. All the doors are put on with piano hinges, just because of harder wearing. Yeah, usual crockery, little kettle, That's a little 600 watt kettle, mug, coffee, all the essential equipment in that one. This is a cupboard which, yeah, I really shouldn't be showing you, but there you go, look at that. Yeah, a few snacks in that one. Nothing really much to see in there. And this one here, yeah, a few more snacks and some crisps and bits and pieces. There, my curtains. Again, I showed how to fit those on, looks like curtains to me, or whatever that video was called. Moving over to this cupboard over here. Yeah, bedding, extra bedding. All my bits and pieces there. Here, everything's dropping out. The old Karcher window cleaner. Yes, and that is a hairdryer. For those who've seen my previous vlogs, I do use one occasionally, even though I am follically challenged. Yeah, noodles, bits and pieces, cooking. Have the little tuffet there. Everything's multifunctioning, so that, you know, that doubles up as my storage for some of my clothes. Behind here, another cargo net, which is perfect. Keep me bottles of water. Yeah, the usual coat hangers. Up there, a carbon monoxide detector. In this cupboard here, we've got, you know, usual cans, there's my cereals, and in the back there, yeah, all kinds of cans, bits and pieces, all in the storage, you know, the score with all that. Yeah, the old chemical toilet is there. This water supply here, I'm going to bring you in and just show you how I top. I've got a wink because of the sun. How I top my water supply up, because space is absolutely really important. So my water container only literally just sort of takes up that much room, and it's not really usable space because it's behind the upright. So rather than having to try and take that in and out all the time, it's a nightmare because I've got it strapped in. It's easier just to bring the water to the mountain. Was it Archimedes who invented siphoning? Like that. It just saves trying to get that thing in and out. Yeah, might as well use gravity to help you out, mightn't you? Basically how I top the water up. That little controller on the back there, on that back wall, that's a gas safe thing. So if I ever had a gas leak, that buzzes. I carry two of these smaller canisters of gas. One normally is the shower, which I'll get into in a bit, and one is for the cooking, which I haven't used for a bit. Again, the hinges on the doors are all you know, piano hinge, very hard wearing. And then moving on to this cupboard here. It's terrible, isn't it? Look at the state of it. Yeah, there we go. Usual. Bread. Okay, moving on to this one here. Standard microwave. Let's get those covers out of the way. Yeah, moving on to this one. Standard microwave. Again, using a little bit of space on the door there. A couple of hooks on, and that does me colander and my little thing for doing all that. So you can see everything here, aren't you? Look, yeah, usual drawers. Everybody keeps their old plastic bags, don't they? Knives, forks, fly spray, WD-40, the usual. In the bottom, there's the old monkey in the back. He's not been out for a little while because everything seems to be electric at the moment. All my bits of sauces and things are in there. That's that. Up the side of the microwave there, that's my chopping board. That kind of just lives there like that. Again, you know, piano hinge. Good. These doors, by the way, these are all... you buy these boards from a good builder's merchants and just carve them up into what you want. I was a bit dubious, thought they might move. They have moved a little bit, just sort of showing you the angle of that so you can see if they're straight. They've moved a little bit, but not too bad at all, those. Moving on, talking about the fridge. Here she is here, it's a old Alpi cool. Normal blah blah in there, and normal don't look in there. Really handy, those fridges, you know, like having the two compartments, and then if you haven't got much food, you can just put everything in the smaller one, just run the one half, and then you can have, if you've got a big enough leisure battery, which I haven't at the moment, you can run one as a freezer, one as a fridge. So dual zone, and the ideal thing is if they've got two separate lids, then you're not losing the cool when you open a big lid. You know what I mean? Apologies for my shadow. Moving on to this bit here, a lot of my viewers will have already seen all this in here, which I do apologise to using it before, but I just need to talk through this quickly. That's where I fill up Lancelot with diesel, and just here, that's how I fill up my diesel tank. So it's quite local to the diesel heater. Obviously, diesel heater is situated just there, and a couple of alterations to do in the winter because I couldn't charge my leisure battery because it was too cold. These are just my extension leads for the solar panels, just running on a 100 amp hour LiFePO 4 battery. Nothing exceptional really. C-Tech charger, as I've said many times before, these are two little tails. I've put those in, they come straight off, and on the ends of those you just have the usual solar connectors. So that C-Tech charger there, that actually does my solar panel and also runs from the main battery to charge my leisure battery when when we're driving. Yeah, nothing like being prepared. Look at the dust. So that's pretty much a standard sort of layout, isn't it, for a camper van? You know, the usual bits and pieces, what have you. But then I wanted to put a few little luxuries, shall we say, for want of a better word, and I'm just going to get stuck into them now. So this is going to take a little bit of doing. Let me tell you, a bit of setting up. Bear with me. First thing we're going to have to do is the old carpet. There's the old carpet rolled up out the way. Again, apologies about my shadows, but I can't help that. It's out the way to reveal this. That's just a bit of packing that, because when I put the bikes or heavy weights in, it just stops that timber from hollowing in like that. Yep, that's it. It's a full size 800 by 800 shower tray. You know, on the road, nice to have a couple of little luxuries, and one of my luxuries is grabbing a shower every now and then, wherever I feel like. So yeah, hence the shower tray. I'll just set it all up and show you what it's all about. Ta-da! Put a lid on this shower curtain, so when it goes in, it stops any condensation going up onto the ceiling. And then it just fits up with a couple of bungees, which I will do now. So I have these little, you see these little chromed, well I think they're stainless steel because they don't rust, these little blighters here, and that's how the shower curtain sort of stays up. It's all on one big bungee cord, and you just tuck them into there like that, and then up there. And as I say, you can see inside the shower, that's how the lid of the shower works. And then coming back on it that way, there's the shower head itself. It's very awkward to film this upside down and inside out. That's it, and then everything just stays inside the shower tray. Just a case of connecting these little blighters up under here. Red one on that one, the orange one, which is the gas one, and that just pops on there like that. So yeah, obviously I said earlier on, the gas is 2 bottles of gas, one for cooking, one for the shower, so that's already connected up. Comes with the 12 volt pump. You put one off the shower, goes straight into there like that, and then one from the other side of it, that goes there, and that goes into a bucket of water. Plug it in, switch it on, pressured shower. Use my 12 volt cigarette lighter port, 12 volt DC, and yeah, shower for as long as you got water, until you run out of gas. They are a great bit of kit. What I do is because it is gas powered, on the door I always have my window has to be cracked open. That's the only thing. You can probably see it through the window there. You've got to have a good airflow. You don't want any you don't want to be falling asleep in the shower, do you? No. Sort of inside of the front of the van done. Now we're just going to move round to the back doors. Here we go. Let's open these up and see what this is all about. table. Nothing spectacular about the table. Drop down leg, hooks on there, and that's it. Below the table I got my fire pit, that just hooks on there like that, and that. Carry two of the usual levelling chocks. This little blighter here, I have a pipe that comes out the side of the van, that just drops out the side of the van from my sink. Pipe drops out there, goes in here, and that's basically my grey water. I haven't got enough room in the van to have a grey water tank as well, so this pulls flat and does that for me. That one's empty at the moment. That's 25 litres there. Another 25 litres. That one's full. 2 10s. I used that one earlier on, showing you how that fills up. 2 10 litres. That one's a full one. That is for my diesel, spare diesel. Obviously not at the moment because it's beautiful weather. Diesel heater, or if the van, if old Lancelot runs out of the old motion lotion, we're good to go with that. These are me the old solar panels. I was talking earlier about having a couple of luxury items, and this is my other luxury item. I'll try and hold it up to show you. Yeah, it's a full-on barbecue. I've got all my coals and lighting fuel, and yeah. That one you've seen, I just showed you, the shower, that's that one. Again, all in this recycled plastic is great stuff. This one here, I'm always doing bits and pieces on vans, so box of screws, my little tiny fold out chair. This one, full of my clothes, full of clothes. That's the underside of my bed. You can see the EcoFlow there. That block of wood there, and you see that piece of 4x2 there. That is to stop anything from pushing against the EcoFlow, because I like to keep those vents clear. The big cable you can see coming into the side of it there, that's the alternator charger, a sort of split charger. That's what does the business for me. And the back of this one here, that's just the back of my fridge. That cable comes out, runs up, over the top of the bed, down the bed, and then that rat's nest of cables up there, which are all my solar panel cables. Yeah, the cigarette lighter point in there, in the middle of that lot. And that's where the fridge plugs into. And that gets isolated, as I say, from the board. Now the fun starts for me. I'm going to try and show you how the bed folds away, and I convert it into like a bit of a work van for me, or if I want to move the motorcycles around or whatever. Yeah, wish me luck. Well, it's alright doing it, but trying to film it is another kettle of fish, isn't it? When you're on your own. So this little tap here, and there's another one over there, when the mattress goes up, these are flexi, so it doesn't matter about them. So when the mattress goes up, they hold it in place. The mattress up. You can see the holes in the bottom here. Yeah, the drill, a million holes. Yeah, you got to drill holes in the bottom there to let the mattress breathe, otherwise it just sweats and then you end up with mildew on the bottom of your mattress and all that. It's not good. The bed is put together with just the usual T-hinges. It's a little bit awkward to show you this, but that measurement from right back there where the mattress is stood against the wall to this measurement here, that's the size of the mattress. When you stand the mattress up, then you lose that dimension there, which is where the hinges, it's normal T hinges. So when you stand this up, as you'll see in a second, there's a big gap here. So you need to infill that, and that's what those boards are for over there. Grab it like that, slide that up like that. This goes in there like that. And these little boards, this is that gap I was talking about. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. Yeah, because that's the same as what the mattress was sat on. And these little fellas, these just fit on here. And we just put them in there like that. Again, you just lift this up like that. That's the leg, as you can see, it's just hinged. Again, it's the old classic piano hinge underneath there. That folds down, and then we just pop that. That just stops it from flapping. You probably can't see that. It's the same as the other side. Just a little chute bolt, like on the other things there. Like that. Handles fell off that one. Get the other board. All that with the knee. Pop that on there. Pop that back. Put them blighters in there. So now you can see this is where the power bank was there. That's my cigarette lighter port I put in, which is just controlled isolated from up there. That hole there, that used to be for the Jolka shower. I used to have the pipe coming in and it was hardwired all the time, but it was just taking up too much room. Hardwired, hard plumbed. And here we've got some more storage, bits of toilet rolls, things like that. They're my straps for tying the bike down. And then under the straps there, they're my tie down points, which are still kept in the van there. As I mentioned before, this is the 800 watt EcoFlow split charge. That little extension lead there, that goes into the back of the EcoFlow or the other power station, whichever. Obviously it's got a UK plug on it, the old 240 plug. Now it just runs through the cupboard here. Obviously there's my microwave and all my crumpets and all my other bits and pieces. You see the yellow cable at the back there. So the microwave there is plugged into that there. Then it comes out of that socket and it just runs up onto the top here. And this is a floor mounted socket. There. It's my worktop, nice and flat, so I can, you know, it's only taking up, you know, what's that, 3/16 of an inch? 4 mil. Trying to do a quick conversion there, about 4 mil. These holes in the floor here, you can sort of see them there and there. Yeah, I use these, they're called banjo clips, because they look like little tiny banjos. Yeah, I use those, put them in there like that. They're easy to take in, easy to take out and put in. They just stop my fridge from sliding too much this way. You might as well see in my last cupboard. You might as well have a little look if you made it this far. Voila. Emergency gas for one of the, you know, the old foldy out ones and little ones. Yeah, some more bits and pieces down there. The other tie down strap is underneath there, and there are all my lights for me awning. Let's get rid of that now. Oh, look. Try and do things one-handed. Put that back up. Last little bit, got the golfing umbrella there. Behind that is one of them 10-metre flagpoles. That's my little old painter's accessory, you know, for putting a roller on. That does me fire. Over this side here, that's my old rug that used to be down there. I keep that for getting under people's vans and my own occasionally. Axe, chopping a bit of firewood, hammer, that's it. So the actual width of it there is about 4 foot, just over 4 foot. I've obviously nicked a bit off the van to put the sink unit in, but it's still pretty much got the same length as it used to have. So that's the van in all her glory, in van and motorcycle moving mode. That's it. And say those cables there, they just slot into that cupboard if necessary there. Done that bit there. You know all about my air fryer, all my other bits up there. The one thing I was going to talk about was the bulkhead. That's always a bones of contention. Do you take the bulkhead out? Don't you? I've left the bulkhead in for a couple of reasons. One, because I do carry the bike in the back. If, God forbid, I was ever in an accident and it was a head-on, the last thing I want is a half-ton Harley Davidson sat next to me in the front seat. So it did work. It works for me, because that's the whole thing about bulkheads. Steel bulkheads in builders' vans are there for two reasons: one, security, yeah, and two, to stop anything you're travelling in the back moving into the front with you. God forbid there was an accident. The other thing I found was leaving that bulkhead in, it gave me the option to build an awful lot on it. You know, that's my television wall, because the bulkhead goes down behind the seats and then it goes in like that. That gave me all the room underneath there to put my diesel heater, my leisure battery, all my other bits and pieces that could get out the way under there. So yeah, I love the captain's chairs. I think they're a fantastic idea, I do, and I'd love to be able to have a chair like that. I could just spin around in a nice comfy chair, but unfortunately I have to sit on a little puffy thing, or whatever you call them, one of them little tubs, you know. So that's me van, in a nutshell. I need to get it all back together because the sun is beating down, my fridge is outside. State of this here. This is why I had to come on a campsite. Look at this, look at the state. Look at it, I've got... There's people are looking at me going, what is wrong with that man? Why has he emptied his van like that? I don't know. So, that's it. I'm done. So thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you all subscribers, people, the new subscribers, my old subscribers, the people who've dropped back to watch it. It's somebody that influenced a few people that help them out in any way to build a van. Then, you know, that's great, isn't it? That's a good thing. Right, you beautiful lot. Till next time, I love you all. Have a good week. I'm sweating. I'll catch you in a bit. May God's be with you. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye for now. Bye.